Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Yes, it's my turn. Hare Krishna. I'll give you a Bhagavad Gita so you can actually read from it.
I can't see anyway, so don't worry because I won't see. I don't have glasses and I won't see anyway.
Oh,
But I can hold it. That's fine.
yes.
Yeah,
You can repeat. Okay. Do you know the prayer Jaya Radha Madhava? No? Okay, but just do a short prayer, singing, and then Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Grivaradari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Grivaradari, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yamunatira vanachari, Yamunatira vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maybe you can repeat that. Do you know the Maha Mantra? Haribol, do you know the Maha Mantra? Okay. Let's do it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Say it. Now you sing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once more. Go on.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Beautiful, thank you. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Nityai Gora Haribol, 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 Nityai Gora Haribol. Gaur Pramanande, Haribol, Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming and thank you for all this thing. Right. So today we're going, Camilla, we're going to read this verse from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
Yes, verse 39.
So we are at the beginning, yes? So you just
We are
started, or
near.
you're just picking up
No,
randomly?
no. We started from the beginning, and every day one verse. So now is.
Is this the verse that they are sending on the WhatsApp group as well?
I don't think so. I'm not sure which WhatsApp group you're part of.
Are we talking text? Which one?
There's here.
Text.
Look, 39. Chapter 2, verse 39. It's about page around 120.
There are so many texts here. I don't know.
If you find on the top, well, it will show you. Okay. So if you can repeat just this short prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You know that, huh? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, now I'm going to read this verse just word by word, so you repeat after me. Esha te, just say, Esha te bihita sankeye. Just wait, I say it and then you say it after me, okay? Esha te bihita sankeye buddhir yoge tuvimam shrinu buddheya yukto yaya partha karma bandam prahasyasi. Esha te bihita sankeye buddhir yoge tuimam shrinu. Buddhi yoge tuimam shrinu. Thank you. Buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandam prahasyasi. Esha te bihita sankeye Buddhir yoge tu imam shrinu. Buddheya yukto yaya partha. Karma bandham prahasyasi. Thank you. Would you like to repeat, Mother? Esha te bihita sankheye. Buddhir yoge tuimam shrinu. Buddhya yukto yaya partha. Karma bandham prahasyasi. Camilla, would you like to read? Please try. Just try. Esha te bihita sankheye. Buddhir yoge tuimam shrinu. Buddhya yakto yaya partha. Karma buddham prahasyasi. Thank you. It was very good, Camilla. Was it your first time? Wow. Hare Krishna, very welcome. We'll be reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 39. Would you like to read the Sanskrit? Would you like to write? Just read the transliteration. From the beginning. Eshate. Shrinu. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Was it your first time? Excellent. Thank you. Okay, I read word by word, so please repeat after me. Esha, all this. Te, unto you. Abhihita, described. It, Sankheye, by analytical study. Buddhi, intelligence. Yoga, in work without fruitive result. 2, but. Imam, this. Shrinu, just here. Buddheya, by intelligence. Yukta, dovetailed. Yaya, by which. Partha, O son of Pritha. Karma bandham, bondage of reaction. Prahasyasi, you can be released from. Translation. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now, listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. So please repeat. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pritha, When you act in such knowledge,
when you act in such knowledge,
you can free yourself
you can free yourself
from the bondage of works.
from the bondage of work.
Thank you very much. So I'll read the purport. It's a bit a long purport. So let's see. According to the Nirukti, or the Vedic dictionary, Sankhya means that which describes things in detail. And Sankhya refers to that philosophy which describes the real nature of the soul. And yoga involves controlling the senses. Arjuna's proposal not to fight was based on sense gratification. Forgetting his prime duty, he wanted to cease fighting because he thought that by not killing his relatives and kinsmen, he would be happier than by enjoying the kingdom after conquering his cousins and brothers, the sons of Dhritarashtra. In both ways, the basic principles were for sense gratification. Happiness derived from conquering them, and happiness derived by seeing kinsmen alive, are both on the basis of personal sense gratification, even at a sacrifice of wisdom and duty. Krishna therefore wanted to explain to Arjuna that by killing the body of his grandfather, he would not be killing the soul proper. And he explained that all individual persons, including the Lord himself, are eternal individuals. They were individuals in the past, they were individuals in the present, and they will continue to remain individuals in the future, because all of us are individual souls eternally. We simply change our bodily dress in different manners. But actually, we keep our individuality even after liberation from the bondage of material dress. So up to now, basically, Prabhupada summarized for us the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what was going on between Krishna and Arjuna. He wanted to stop fighting, and he wanted to encourage him, and explained it on the basis of the main the spiritual knowledge that we're not the body, we are a spirit soul. An analytical study of the soul and the body has been very graphically explained by Lord Krishna. This is the beginning of chapter 2, that he starts explaining to Arjuna about the difference between the soul and the body. And this descriptive knowledge of the soul and the body from different angles of vision has been described here as Sankhya in terms of Nirukti dictionary. So Nirukti dictionary, what Prabhupada says in the beginning, is the Vedic dictionary based. And according to that, that's the meaning of Sankhya, analytical study. And Prabhupada in the beginning, he says, Sankhya means to describe things in details. This Sankhya has nothing to do with Sankhya philosophy of the atheist Kapila. And here Prabhupada explains a little bit about Kapila. Long before the impostor Kapila's Sankhya, so there was a real Kapila and his philosophy, real Sankhya, but long before but another Kapila came and gave another Sankhya philosophy, which was false. Prabhupada calls him impostor Kapila. So long before the impostor Kapila's Sankhya, the Sankhya philosophy was expounded in the Srimad Bhagavatam by the true Lord Kapila, the incarnation of Lord Krishna, who explained it to his mother, Devahuti. It is clearly explained by him that the Purusha, or the Supreme Lord, is active and that he creates by looking over the Prakriti. This is accepted in the Vedas and in the Gita. That how he created the world. The description in the Vedas indicates that the Lord glanced over the Prakriti, or nature, and impregnated it with atomic individual souls. All these individuals are working in the material world for sense gratification. Hare Krishna, Hare. Thank you for coming. And under the spell of material energy, they are thinking of being enjoyers. The mentality is dragged to the last point of liberation. The mentality of enjoying ourselves is dragged to the last point of liberation when the living entity wants to become one with the Lord. This is another false philosophy, which Prabhupada just mentions it here. This is the last snare of Maya, or sense gratificatory illusion. And it is only after many, many births of such sense gratificatory activities that a great soul surrenders unto Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, thereby fulfilling the search after the ultimate truth. Arjuna has already accepted Krishna as his spiritual master by surrendering himself unto him. Shishyashteham satimam tvam prapanam. This happens in the beginning of chapter 2, which Arjuna, he is confused, he has a lot of questions, but he realizes that while he's just friendly and in a familiar relationship with Krishna, it's not going to work. So he surrenders, and he accepts Krishna as his teacher, as his spiritual master. So he's going to listen to him. Sorry. Consequently, Krishna will now tell him about the working process in Buddhi Yoga or Karma Yoga, or in other words, the practice of devotional service only for the sense gratification of the Lord. This Buddhi Yoga is clearly explained in chapter 10, verse 10. As being direct communion with the Lord, who is sitting as Paramatma in everyone's heart. But such communion does not take place without devotional service. One who is therefore situated in devotional or transcendental loving service to the Lord, or in other words, in Krishna consciousness, attains to this stage of Buddhi Yoga by the special grace of the Lord. The Lord says, therefore, that only to those who are always engaged in devotional service out of transcendental love does he award the pure knowledge of devotion in love. In that way, the devotee can reach him easily in the ever blissful kingdom of God. So we had a lot of, other terms, Buddhi Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Paramatma. So let's see, I still haven't finished the purport, and there's a lot in this purport. So maybe together we can try just understand a little bit of it. Thus, the Buddhi Yoga mentioned in this verse is the devotional service of the Lord. And the word Sankhya mentioned herein has nothing to do with the atheistic Sankhya Yoga enunciated by the impostor Kapila. One should not therefore misunderstand that the Sankhya Yoga mentioned herein has any connection with the atheistic Sankhya. Nor did that philosophy have any influence during that time. Nor would Lord Krishna care to mention such godless philosophical speculations. Real Sankhya philosophy is described by Lord Kapila in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is in Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. But even that Sankhya has nothing to do with the current topics. Here, Sankhya means analytical description of the body and the soul. Lord Krishna made an analytical description of the soul just to bring Arjuna to the point of Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Therefore, Lord Krishna's Sankhya and Lord Kapila's Sankhya, as described in the Bhagavatam, are one and the same. They are all Bhakti Yoga. Lord Krishna said, therefore, that only the less intelligent class of men make a distinction between Sankhya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, between Sankhya Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Of course, atheistic Sankhya Yoga has nothing to do with Bhakti Yoga, yet the unintelligent claim that the atheistic Sankhya Yoga is referred to in the Bhagavad Gita. One should therefore understand that Buddhi Yoga means to work in Krishna consciousness, in the full bliss and knowledge of devotional service. One who works for the satisfaction of the Lord only, however difficult such work may be, is working under the principles of Buddhi Yoga and finds himself always in transcendental bliss. By such transcendental engagement, one achieves all transcendental understanding automatically by the grace of the Lord, and thus his liberation is complete in itself, without his making extraneous endeavors to acquire knowledge, without making any endeavors to acquire knowledge. Can achieve complete liberation just by devotional service. There is much difference between work in Krishna consciousness and work for fruitive results, especially in the matter of sense gratification for achieving results in terms of family or material happiness. Buddhi Yoga is therefore the transcendental quality of the work that we perform. Very tough purport. Okay, I just ask for the blessing of the Acharyas, so I'll be able to say something useful. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radhakanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Virshabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Esha te bihita sankhye buddhir yoge tvimam shrini buddhiya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Radha Gokulanda ki jai. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, come close. Come here. Please. Well, very welcome. Well, you always come to the Bhagavad Gita class. Camilla, this is your first time in this class, and in fact, this is very special soul. She just bought a set of Srimad Bhagavatam just an hour ago. And you have started reading Bhagavad Gita and studying it. You said you're halfway through.
I've got a simple version, the latest edition of English, which is basically explain everything. So I'm reading that. When I finish this one, then I will start this one because then I have more understanding.
Oh, so you have another edition.
Yes.
Okay. Does it say in?
I do have this one,
You.
and I've got English short version, and then I've got this.
When you say short version, you mean only the verses,
No,
or?
it's very nice explanation of things. Very nice.
Okay.
Latest edition.
Okay. Does it say on the title? Does it say like this Bhagavad Gita as it is? It say as it is.
I don't remember. I don't remember. I will the next time. I probably will finish it.
Okay. It's good that you have this. This is, of course, the verses of Bhagavad Gita, they're all exactly the same in any edition, but the purport and explanations might be different. And here we read from the Bhagavad Gita, which the purport are written by our Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And he calls it Bhagavad Gita as it is. The meaning of as it is that it has not been changed and misinterpreted, especially in regards to the position of Lord Krishna. But yeah, then, she's reading Bhagavad Gita and she was so enthusiastic just to get Srimad Srimad. Definitely. Yes, we need to read it as many times as we can, but also we need to read it. It's best to read it with other devotees and discuss it among ourselves. In fact, in the very beginning, the very first of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada tells us how we should read Bhagavad Gita. If you bring the first verse, in the purport, Prabhupada says Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic. Have you got it? No, after introduction, it says chapter 1. It's about page 35, around that. Bring first verse. It says chapter 1, observing the armies on the battlefield. Yeah? So after the verse, the purport, right? The purport says, Bhagavad Gita is the widely read theistic science summarized in the Gita Mahatmya, glorification of the Gita. There it says that one should read Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Sri Krishna and try to understand it without personally motivated interpretation. So there are, in fact, Prabhupada is giving us a list. First, read it scrutinizingly. What does scrutinizingly mean?
Very precisely.
Precisely.
With attention, with thoroughly,
Thoroughly, yes, deep, thoroughly, with full attention, and as precise as possible. And then, so okay, we can kind of scan it, but to understand Bhagavad Gita, we have to read it scrutinizingly with the help of a person who is a devotee of Krishna. There are so many people who are scholars. They have studied Bhagavad Gita. They know all the verses inside out, in Sanskrit, in English, all that. But they are not a devotee of Krishna. They don't worship Krishna. They don't accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So no matter what they say, how much explanation they give, because they are not a devotee of Krishna.
Why they call Krishna the Godhead? He is God.
Okay.
Why do we call the Godhead?
Okay. It's a very good question. I'm just wondering, since I'm already deviated from tonight's verse, and we can go more. Just let's touch quickly on the actual today's verse, and then hopefully, if we didn't have time, we can talk about it outside after the class, because we have only 10 or 15 more minutes. And then try to understand it without personally motivated interpretation. Anyway, Prabhupada gives us the guideline how to read Bhagavad Gita right from the beginning. Now, today, how we could really scrutinize, this verse and this long, really difficult purport. And of course, a devotee of Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, has explained it all to us. But it's, I thought, Prabhupada in the purport, he gives us some reference to another verse in chapter 10, which explains maybe better, what is all different yogas. You've heard, here in this purport, we heard about Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga. Also in the purport, Prabhupada mentioned about Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. So have you heard about all these different yogas? Camilla? Have you heard these terms? Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, yes.
Different spiritual paths.
Okay, let's see what Prabhupada says here. If you bring chapter 10, verse 10, he gives us some description. Yes. So 10:10. On the top of the page, it's about page 520. just come more for about, your book is different from mine, but about 500, page 500, you will find chapter 10. So come to verse number 10. This is the reference that in today's verse, Prabhupada is giving us. He actually says that this Buddhi Yoga is clearly explained in chapter 10, verse 10, as being the direct communion with the Lord who is sitting as Paramatma in the heart of the living being. So, did you find it? Okay. Okay, let me read it because then people can hear. In this verse, in chapter 10, this verse 10, in this verse, the word Buddhi Yogam is very significant. We may remember that in the second chapter, so in this verse refers back to today's verse, 39, chapter 2. In the second chapter, the Lord instructing Arjuna said that he had spoken to him of many things and that he would instruct him in the way of Buddhi Yoga. So in chapter 2, the first part of chapter 2 was mainly Sankhya Yoga, analytical study of the soul and the body. Now, Buddhi Yoga is explained. So after that, in today's verse, Buddhi Yoga is explained. But here Prabhupada gives some explanation. Buddhi Yoga itself is action in Krishna consciousness. That is the highest intelligence. Buddhi, the literal meaning of Buddhi means intelligence. And yoga means mystic activities or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead, coming to your question, why is called Godhead, and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotional service, his action is called Buddhi Yoga. But further, Prabhupada explains, in other words, Buddhi Yoga is the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of this material world. This entanglement is mentioned in today's verse, karma bandham, entanglement of action, reactions of our activities. The ultimate goal of progress is Krishna. People do not know this. Therefore, what do they normally people do yoga? Well, majority of people do yoga do you know about yoga? Some they do physical gymnastic activities, and some go further than that, this dhyana yoga, reaching some special yogic powers. Some study only study jnana yoga to gain knowledge and gain some prestige. So, and Prabhupada says, but they don't understand the ultimate goal of all the yogas is Krishna, to understand Krishna. People do not know this. Therefore, the association of devotees and a bona fide spiritual master are important. One should know that the goal is Krishna. And when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed. And the ultimate goal is achieved. So up to here, Prabhupada explained a little bit more about Buddhi Yoga. So basically, it's when we connect to Krishna through our intelligence, then that is called Bhakti Yoga. And Prabhupada says, when serving the Lord with no result for ourselves, then this Buddhi Yoga is equal to Bhakti Yoga. serving the Lord with love and devotion. But further in this verse 10, chapter 10, Prabhupada explains a little bit more about the other types of yoga. When a person knows the goal of life, but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he is acting in, you tell me, karma yoga. When he wants the result. When he knows that the goal is Krishna, but he takes pleasure in mental speculations to understand Krishna, then he is acting in Jnana Yoga. And when he knows the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in Bhakti Yoga. And then Prabhupada says, or Buddhi Yoga. So here he puts them, he says there's no difference. When we understand exact meaning of Buddhi Yoga, it is the same as Bhakti Yoga, which is the complete yoga. So Bhakti Yoga, when it says complete yoga, means it contains all the other yogas is contained within Bhakti Yoga. This complete yoga is the highest perfection stage of life. So another meaning of complete yoga is actually bringing you to the highest stage. All the other yogas, you've heard of the yoga ladder. Yeah? So all the other yogas, there are just like steps on this ladder. And some people go up to, they practice Jnana Yoga, so they are kind of somewhere in the middle. Some practice Dhyana Yoga, but the Bhakti Yoga is the last step, is the complete yoga practice, and it's actually covers, by practicing Bhakti Yoga, you will automatically achieve the knowledge, you will automatically achieve whatever power and strength that Krishna wants you to have, you will automatically achieve that. But then the emphasis here was to really understand all of these, the association of devotees, discussing with the devotees, and having the bona fide spiritual master is very essential. Otherwise, we would become like so many other so-called scholars of Bhagavad Gita that they know Bhagavad Gita inside out, but because they're not devotees of Krishna, they don't study it under bona fide spiritual master, so they misinterpret it and they are also misled. I stop here because we have only 5 minutes to the RT and already is, getting busy. And I just want to take this opportunity, as I mentioned earlier, Camilla Mataji, she just bought a set of Srimad Bhagavatam. Have you heard of Srimad Bhagavatam? Have you heard? Right. Do you have it? Do you have it at home? The whole set? Okay. Sometimes we mistake Bhagavad Gita with Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is one book, 700 verses. It's a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. And as we talked about it, Krishna is teaching so many things to Arjuna, including the analytical studies of Sankhya, the difference between soul and the body. But also, he is encouraged, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, after teaching so many different things about, like Camilla was telling me, I asked him, okay, what is Bhagavad Gita is about? She said, it's about life. Yes, is the instruction of life. Life manual, exactly. But then at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling Arjuna that you must surrender to me. But who is this Krishna? Why we should surrender to him? And how to surrender to him? It's all explained in a set of books called Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is 700 verses. Srimad Bhagavatam is 18,000 verses. You can see on the altar, Prabhupada's altar, you can see these books. These are all part of the whole set of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in fact, outside, after the arti, there's a book table. You can go to that book table and see all the books together. But why we are emphasizing on these books at this time? Because now it's a month of Bhadra. It's a very special month. It's when Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken. And on the full moon of the month of Bhadra, this year falls on the 7th of September. And it says in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the last canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, if you give Srimad Bhagavatam on the golden throne to anybody, you could gift it to yourself, you could gift it to your family, whoever you want. If you give this gift on the full moon of the month of Bhadra, then you will achieve your supreme destination. So it's a very auspicious time. That's why we are encouraging people. We would need to read to Srimad Bhagavatam anyway. It was spoken and heard. It was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami and heard by Parikshit Maharaj when Parikshit Maharaj had only 7 days to live. And he knew this is the only thing he needs to do before dying. So we're all going to die, right? But so we would need to read Srimad Bhagavatam. So why not doing it now? At this time, there is this auspicious time. Just having Bhagavatam in the house changes the whole atmosphere of the house. What to speak of reading it. So please, after the arti, there will be another short talk explaining to you further about Srimad Bhagavatam. But you can go to the book table and see the books, and you will, if you take the set, you will get this book free. It's the children's tales of Srimad Bhagavatam, and also there is another gift, Lord Jagannath playing flutes. You will get Lord Jagannath playing flutes as well as a gift if you take the whole set of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jaya, Bhagavad Gita ki jaya, Srila Prabhupada ki jaya. Go.